Hey friends, this is Dolls in Dreamland. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be customizing my Saige Copeland doll. I want to give her a septum piercing and change her wig because she arrived to me with a little bit of an uneven haircut. You can see I've already given her some blush on the cheeks and nose, and we're just going to finish the transformation. So to give her a septum piercing, I'm going to take the tiniest jump ring I could find at Michael's. There might be smaller ones available, I'm not totally sure. And then you're just going to get some needle nose pliers. I think this would be easier if you have two sets of needle nose pliers because, oh my gosh, using my nails to try to hold on to one side of this jump ring was really hard. But basically you're just going to pry open a little gap in the jump ring like so. It's gonna take some trial and error. I'm gonna mostly do it off camera, but there's no special trick to this. You just like bend it, that's all. So off camera I finished wiggling open a little gap, and now I'm just gonna check and make sure that it fits, because if it's not open enough to fit kind of in her nose, then we're gonna have to open it a little more, and wouldn't you know it, we gotta wiggle it open a little bit more. So be right back while I try not to break a nail. And after a little more wiggling with the pliers, I finally got it open enough to fit. So we are going to take good old Eileen's tacky glue. I'm just gluing it on. I didn't want to puncture any holes in her nose permanently because who knows if I'm going to want to keep this forever. I found this Saige doll for $35 and she's in amazing shape except for her haircut. So I don't really care that much about, like, you know, customizing her and potentially poking holes in her, but I didn't have to because, as you can see, the tacky glue worked and it held on really well. I actually filmed this a couple months ago and it's still on there today. So now I'm going to open the wig, which is from DallasDollCo. And I was really impressed with the quality of their wigs. This is actually my second wig from them. I have one of their wigs on my kit doll who's named Jillian. But this one is this beautiful brown to reddish auburn ombre. The wigs are so soft and the wig is very curly. I don't remember what the exact style is, but I will put a link to it in the description box in case you guys are interested, because I know sometimes the colors can look different on the screen and on the website, but oh my goodness, it is so beautiful. Lark is very much a free spirit, so I wanted her to have a wig that was just curly and wild and as untamed as she is. I am going to brush out the curls a little bit because I want it to be like looking like she's been rambling around in the woods, just kind of like wild and brushed out. But for now we're gonna get her old wig off and then we are going to try on the new one and see how it looks. So I'm taking a fork to like kind of widen some of the little tiny gaps that exist in there so I could get my fingernails under, and then once I find a weak spot, I do not care about saving this wig because the haircut is not that great. So I'm literally just trying to get it off however I can, pulling it, ripping it, trying to pry it off with the fork. It wasn't that hard to get it off, but it did feel really wrong to just like grab her by the hair and like tug it off. I kind of felt bad, but it's for the best. So here she is looking like Cynthia from Rugrats. She's still got a couple hairs left on there, but that's okay. And this wig, I actually got it off without damaging the wig cap at all, but we're just throwing it out, so it doesn't matter. The little frizzy hairs, I'm just gonna leave them on because I'm gonna glue the new wig on top of them anyway, so I don't really need to be that precious about getting them all cleaned off. And here we are, we're going to try on the wig, see how it fits. The elastic holds the wigs on the head really tightly, even without glue. The other wig that I have on my kit, I did not glue on, and it has stayed on perfectly, even though I move her around and take her around for pictures and stuff. But with Lark's, I really do want to glue it down because I envision her as being my travel doll, and I just don't want to risk it coming off or getting weirdly repositioned during travel. So we are going to use that same old Eileen's tacky glue, and I am just planning to make a big old circle around her head with the tacky glue. I don't want to go too wild with the glue in case I do want to get it off again another day to change her wig to something else, but as you can see, I did kind of glop it on pretty good, so I think I'm still gonna have a hard time. And I'm just pulling off a couple of these hairs just willy-nilly because they were a little bit in my way, but I'm not being too particular about making sure it's all cleaned up or anything like that. And here we go with the tacky glue. I'm just going in a circle. I should say that I watched exactly 0 tutorials on how to re-wig an American Girl doll before doing this. This is what I do to my pull-up dolls. So if there's a better gluing technique, I'm sorry. Do as I say, not as I do, I guess. Off screen, what you didn't see is I actually got so much tacky glue in her hair and had to panic and brush it out really quick, but it did all come out, and I got the brushed out, like, wild flowy look that I was looking for. And here is the finished look. I am so in love with this transformation. She looks exactly as I envisioned. And thank you so much for following along with my customization video. I will see you next time. Bye.